What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Coolfield10. Today we will be reacting to Japanese, excuse me, in Japan, innocent people are forced to confess to crimes. Um, in actuality, I don't think it's just Japan. I think everywhere this stuff happens, but let's just learn some new things from this. Alright? Okay, so here's some examples from non-Japanese people confessing to crimes. You think about I can't really think. Oh shit, I can't really think about it, but there are many instances when this happens. But let's hear about these examples in Japan. Put the phone down.
Shocking. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's estimated that every year in Japan, hundreds of people are wrongfully convicted for crimes they didn't commit. Japan is the land of extremes. Extreme fashion, extreme food, extreme game shows. Yeah. So it only seems right that their jurisdictional system is extreme too. And oh boy is it. Japan boasts an unbelievably high conviction rate of 99.8% compared to America's 88%. But take this figure with a pinch of pickled ginger, because you won't believe the lengths Japanese authorities will go to keep that figure so high.
That's crazy.
Despite Japan being one of the safest places on earth and the world's third wealthiest country, its justice system is full of corruption and, believe it or not, psychological torture. And no, they don't force people to listen to J-pop for days on end whilst force-feeding Shirako to them. Don't Google that. Suspects are routinely subjected to inhumane questioning to force them to confess to a crime that they may or may not have committed, just so that the national conviction rate can be kept at an impressively high...
Oh shit, yeah, I've heard about this. Okay, so here's an example. Like the youngest person to be executed in the United States of America was George Stinney, and he was like forced to confess to like a double murder of two little girls, and he was like 14 at the time. So yeah, he was forced to confess to a crime that he didn't even commit. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And he was forced to do it, and I think gave him like food, like ice cream and shit. But yeah, the world is messed up.
High level. You see, in Japan, confessions are believed to be the ultimate form of evidence to prove a person is guilty, whereas other countries rely on more tangible evidence to build a case around it, and then play a game of who has the most expensive lawyer in court, so the jury can make a decision. Japanese courts have no jury. A defendant's fate is decided purely by a panel of judges. It's like a really depressing X Factor. In fact, I'm surprised the Japanese haven't made a game show out of it yet. Oh, no, wait, America beat you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Obviously, the verdict is almost always guilty, since police interrogators do everything they can to forcefully extract a guilty confession out of suspects before it reaches court, whether they committed the crime or not. Japanese police have been known to use bizarre methods to extract confessions. One woman was made to repeatedly shout her confession out of the window. Another man was forced to stomp on the names of his loved ones by the interrogators grabbing his ankles in some kind of twisted game of do you feel guilty enough yet?
What the fuck?
In most countries, such as the UK and USA, the police can only hold a suspect for 24 hours after the arrest. But in Japan, police can hold suspects for up to 23 days without any evidence. During this time, the suspect is not allowed any outside contact, and they aren't even allowed access to an attorney until after the police have finished their questioning.
That's stupid.
Japanese culture places a lot of pride on one's family members, and interrogators use this to their advantage. During a murder trial in 2013, one suspect said that the police repeatedly told him that his mother wanted him to confess, or he would be sent to bed without dessert. But he couldn't contact his mother to ask if she really said this. Eventually, he confessed to the murder. He later said he was interrogated non-stop for 5 consecutive days, both day and night. He spent 29 years in jail for the murder, which it turned out he didn't commit. Despite confessing to it, he managed to prove his innocence during a retrial later in his life. In 2007, in a small town in western Japan, 13 suspects were accused of rigging an election via vote buying. The suspects were all between 50 and 80 years old. They were subject to constant interrogations for months leading up to the trial. 6 eventually buckled and signed written confessions, admitting they bought votes with liquor and cash. One man died during the trial from stress, and another man and his wife tried to kill themselves twice. But the police stopped them and arrested them for more questioning. Come on now, guys, you've had your fun. We can't force a confession out of you if you're dead, can we?
Come on, Japan.
All of the surviving suspects were eventually found guilty in court, despite the police having no evidence except from their confessions. But later, they were all acquitted, and the court found that their confessions had been entirely fabricated. The judge actually said they had, quote-unquote, made confessions in despair whilst going through marathon questioning. In both these cases, authorities received absolutely no punishment for their wrongful convictions. The Japanese legal system has been heavily criticised by human rights organisations for years, such as by the United Nations Human Rights Committee. The head of Amnesty International in Japan, Makoto Teranaka, says the system is highly corrupt and needs to be reformed. He insists that suspects are subjected to intense psychological torture, and he says Japan is not a society where you have fair trials. Things are improving, though. Some areas of Japan have recently introduced a US-style jury system, although maybe this is not such a good idea after all. Currently, Japanese citizens do everything they can to avoid court, but relaxing the system could open the doors for more ridiculous, unnecessary cases to go to court. There is definitely an issue with frivolous litigation in America, just like when DC-based judge Roy Pearson sued his dry cleaners for $67 million for losing a pair of his pants. Yeah, I'm serious. The court ruled in favour of the dry cleaners,
Stupid ass.
and fined Pearson for wasting the court's time. Pearson totally lost his trousers over the ruling. Thanks for watching. There are hidden oil wells.
Alright, so yeah, that's some messed up stuff. So yeah, again, that happens all over the world technically, but I think it's gotten better over the years. And yeah, it's good to learn something new. I never knew Japan was like this. I thought Japan was it was like an average country. I thought they were, rich and smart, educated. But it turns out they run like a third world country. So yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, peace out. It's been your boy Cool Philip Tan, and I'll be back with more videos. Seriously, man. Stupid ass Japan. Make a new Godzilla. God damn it.